The Supreme Court, who is great, by the way. Now, the Supreme Court obviously will go nuts and try to, ban the morning after pill and condoms, and they will try to ban, any type of, probably they'll ban everything, or they'll try. But this woman, Marianne Alito, I'm never a fan of this type of journalism, by the way. I know that a lot of people do it. And I don't care so much about it. It goes both ways. James O'Keefe does a lot of this where he finds people that are willing to admit certain things. And this woman got Marianne Alito to admit certain things. Here's why I've never been a fan of this type of journalism. I already know what they're going to get the people to admit. So it's not an aha moment to me because I'm smart. So I'm not shocked at any of this gotcha stuff. Not that it doesn't have its place, and I'm not chastising the people who do it, but I'm never like, oh my God, whoa, this is earth-shattering. This is groundbreaking that, someone at the Pentagon is talking about, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they don't like Trump, and there's people in these institutions that we get it. I know all that, and I know that this woman's a nut. She's a fun nut, though. And I get it. Her whole deal is she's basically this, and they're doing the bit about how she's like a real housewife, and she's a Supreme Court wife, and her and Ginny Thomas, Clarence Thomas's wife, who's a little bit of a nut, they're out there getting boozed up, shooting from the hip, going hard, and this woman is saying things about the pride flag, which as a gay person, I don't even know what it is anymore. I look at the pride flag in LA, I don't even know what it is. Circles and squares and triangles, there's so many colors. I don't know what it is or what it signifies or what it's about. I know what it initially was about. I don't know what it is about now, and I don't get it. I stare at it, and I'm trying to imagine what color represents what thing. Literally, a friend of mine, we looked at one in the West Hollywood the other day. My friend goes, is that part for the hostages? I'm like, well, I don't think they put. Yeah, let's break down what the pride flag is. Can we get what is the circle in the yellow? Like, can we analyze what it is? Because that's her big beef, is she has to look at this pride flag. And I don't know if I even blame her, only because it's so convoluted and crazy now. I don't even know what it is or what it's supposed to be. It's like it was a rainbow, and then it was like, okay, fine. But now it's by the way, and this has been bandied about by other people, the idea that they took something gay and made it like not stylish, not aesthetically pleasing is wild. Like, they've made this new pride flag into something that's very ugly. It's not nice. It is clashes. All the colors clash. They run together. You would never have this in your house. A gay interior designer would never put this in your home. They would have a stroke. So now it's bi inclusive. The bi. But is there anything that has like a breakdown of it? I know it's difficult.
We'll find it. Yeah,
I don't even know if they know what it is. They might just keep adding things to it. They should keep adding things to it because people have given up. No one's even doing what I'm doing right now, which is going, what color corresponds to which group? Like right now, there's a part of the flag that is like, it's yellow or gold, and it has a circle, a purple circle. Does anyone with a gun to their head know what that is? Hold on, here we go. The red in the flag represents life. Orange represents healing. Yellow represents sunlight. Green is nature. Indigo is blue. Represent whatever. Serenity. The last color. The meaning of the New Progress Pride flag. The new Progress Pride flag includes new colors and a new design that are meant to represent people of color, as well as people that are intersex and non-binary. Pink, baby blue, and white represent trans people. Okay. Color placement, a new shape. Listen to this. The word progress of the new flag isn't only about adding the new colors to it. It's because of the shape, which differs from the original design of horizontal stripes only. The Progress Pride flag shows the white, pink, baby blue, black, and brown stripes in a triangle shape with the 6 colored rainbow stacked next to them. This was done intentionally to convey the separation in meaning and shift focus of how important these new issues are. The placement of the new colors in a narrow shape is meant to convey the progress still needed. Although the Pride flag continues to evolve, the most recent update includes a yellow triangle with a purple circle, yes, inside it to represent the intersex community. My favorite thing now is to go to a Pride flag without that circle and go, what about the intersex? And really throw someone off. What about them? So that's the Pride flag now. It's all, I mean, look at it. Just take a look at how aesthetically displeasing this flag is. How confusing it is. It is a Trump ad. It really is. It's because people are looking at it going, what is this? What is it? What does it signify? And when does it end? Does it end? Does the Pride flag have an end? This is a question. Is there any time when someone will go, this is a bit crowded? No. Is there one person in the meeting that goes, this seems a bit crowded? Because there's probably, that's not the only thing. They've pitched all kinds of changes to that flag. You got to remember, like, how many genders there are. Like, there's been a lot of things pitched. So this, as crazy as this is, this represents like the conservative approach in a sense to the Pride flag. Because someone had to go, we've got to stop event. Like, we can only add 6 new colors to this. We have to stop at 6. So it is, someone in the meeting had to go, we can't do every color. Someone probably goes, what about emerald green for the Irish? And you go, I know where you're going there, but it's just, I don't know. So we have Maryano, who might hate gay people and might not. I don't know. I don't know what this woman feels, and I don't really care either about what she, she's not on the Supreme Court. Her husband is. Most of these issues will go to state votes, probably. Maybe gay marriage will, abortion did. And a lot of red states codify abortion in their constitutions. A lot of them, when those measures are put on the ballot, even states like Kansas, a lot of them choose to have abortion. I don't, America has a strong strain of fundamentalism that runs through it. And I think the return of it is sort of obviously we had a long period of time where people, this ideology on the left was ascendant of, this is sort of chaos. And we've seen the response to that. And obviously you have the response to that as more of a kind of people that are coming out that are more traditionalists. And some of that obviously could be like Christian psychotic fundamentalism, which you don't want. Hopefully you end where we can never seem to end in this country, in the middle, and like some type of balance where it's more of a live and let live mentality where nobody is trying to, because that's when the country works the best, is when everybody, I hate to say it, but it's like everyone in this country does kind of need to be worked to death. You really can't give people in this country much time to reflect on anything else other than working. Like, they have to work. I'm not saying that they should be like working in unsafe conditions or not being paid, but like This whole idea that there's a real dimension of meaning in this country that people are going to access when they're not working is just not borne out by the facts. It's just not. If people are, my fear with AI and all this stuff is with less people working, they're going to have all the time in the world, and idle time is the devil's plaything. People will just, like, this woman doesn't do anything. This woman, this Alito lady, shouldn't do anything. Now, so she's looking at this pride flag and it's bothering her, and I get it. And I'm not saying that she should be out there with her own cosmetics line or, you know, a charity where she makes hats for little dogs. I don't know what she should be doing. But there is certainly an amount of free time that seems to be unhealthy for any human being. You know, boomers right now, some of them have a lot of free time on their hands. And, you know, a lot of this has manifested in their behavior, which is quite insane. So I think that a lot of what we're seeing now from a lot of people, not everyone, there are people that are working unimaginably hard all the time. You know what I mean? I don't know any of them. I've never met any of them, but they are out there. They truly, I've met a few of them. But this woman's kind of sitting around all day, knocking back a couple of drinks. Let's hear what she's got to say about this pride flag that is bothering her.
You know what I want? I want a Sacred Heart of Jesus flag because I have to look across the lagoon at the pride flag for the next month.
Exactly.
And he's like, oh, please don't put up a flag. I said, I won't do it because I'm deferring to you. But when you are free of this nonsense, I'm putting it up and I'm going to send them a message every day. Maybe every week I'll be changing the flags. There'll be all kinds. I made a flag in my head. This is how I satisfy myself. I made a flag. It's white and it's yellow and orange flames around it. And in the middle is the word vergogna. Vergogna in Italian means shame.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a Long Island lunatic mom. This is all this woman is. Her husband just happens to be on the Supreme Court. She's creating flags in her head in her free time. That's something my friend's mother would do. This, when you realize the people that run everything don't really have any skills, it's terrifying, but you come to that realization sooner rather than later, and it'll help you out. This lady is not any type of, this isn't really news, and it's not super interesting. She's a deeply conservative, probably Catholic Italian lady, and she just is sick of looking at the pride flag, And I don't really care what this woman feels about much. I think she's fun. She's probably a lunatic. I mean, living with her has got to be tough. Can you imagine that he gets home every day and she's like, you want to hear about the new flag? Well, this one is baby blue to represent the sky. And in the middle is the word Tortuga, which was the prison from Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp. And I watched that 3 hours. I watched all the movies today while you were at the Supreme Court. I was watching the back-to-back Pirates of the Caribbean movies and taking the pill that the doctor gave me. This is just what you get at the end of your life when there's not much left to do. And by the way, you used to not hear from people at this stage of their life. They were shut in. That was a term, shut-ins. It was Grey Gardens. They would just tinker around their house. They'd play with little things. Louis C.K. has a great bit about how, like, he hates going into those little stores because it's just him and a woman standing there, and she's got all her little trinkets. It's like her little dream. And she's got a little dumb store on Nantucket or wherever, and, she's made a little seagull but that's kind of what it was forever when people got to this stage, because you start to decline in many ways, mentally and in all kinds of ways. So when she's going, I don't care that she doesn't like the pride flag. When she goes, I make flags. Listen to this quote. There'll be all kinds. I made a flag in my head. This is how I satisfy myself. I made a flag. So she's sitting at home all day making flags in her head of things that she would like to convey. And one of them is shame. But, this is what you get. This is what you get All we do in our culture right now is listen to the musings of elderly people. This is all we do. Whether it's presidents, whether they're in the Supreme Court, all we do is dissect the crazy things that old people say and try to find a meaning in them, or get very scared and terrified because we're like, what do they mean? They're old. They're old. This woman is old. She's angry. She doesn't understand the pride flag. I don't understand the pride flag. But I don't manufacture fake flags in my head that better represent the things that I care about. But this woman is being made happy by this. This is how she satisfies herself. This is her quote. This is how I make myself happy. I make little flags in my head that are the things that I want. I want a return of shame to society. So I've made a flag in my head, and I'm going to hang it outside of my house. And all she's saying, by the way, and I know people are like, well, her husband's a Supreme Court justice, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, Ruth Bader Ginsburg could have retired, but you didn't do that. You could have had a Democratic Supreme Court justice, but you queened Ruth Bader Ginsburg until she was in the grave. So now you have a Supreme Court that's tilting conservative, but the Amy Coney Barrett lady won't be as conservative as you think, because she's got like 25 African orphan children. So even though she'll be conservative, she'll also swing left on some weird things. Already not loving some of the things she does. I don't know. I think the Supreme Court will kick a lot of these issues down to the states. States will make these decisions. And I'm not saying that that's a great thing in every case, but that seems to be where a lot of these cultural hot button issues land, is they land in state legislatures and they end up on ballots. And then people usually, vote how their state wants to live. It's like, they're at different states and they want to live different ways, and they all have, benefits. And, Texas right now, you might live with people that agree with you. It's 103 degrees and the lakes are swamps. They have the color of the Donkey Kong Country, whatever it is, when him and Diddy Kong are swimming through the nuclear, that's the color of the lake. But you might go, and you'd be right to say they put people in jail when they commit crimes. That's true. California is beautiful, stunning, not 103 degrees, but you might get got. A homeless person might cut you when you take out your garbage. That's not good. Life's about trade-offs. You got to decide what you want. Maybe you like upstate New York because it's cheap, but maybe you're sick of seeing old broke down factories and it depresses you, and you're sick of looking at like weird guys in the CVS trying to grab pills that they're not prescribed. I don't know. You got to find a place, or you can do what I do. I just jump around because I get bored and I just dodge the things. So when the crazy hotness, that season, I dodge it. I come to California, I dodge the homeless, And I go over to, you can make your life what you want it to be. And there's this idea that Maryano Lido is really going to affect your life, and I don't think she will. Her husband could, but her husband can in certain ways, in other ways he can't. And there's usually a workaround with a lot of these issues. Like there's usually a workaround with a lot of these issues. Doesn't mean they're not going to try to do certain things. But again, with abortion, you could see, like, for example, Texas now, you can't get an abortion. You got to go elsewhere. And that's a nice trip. That's a nice trip. Imagine you need an abortion in Texas in July. Lucky you. You're like, let's get the out of here. It's 103 degrees at night. It's 97 degrees at night here. Can you get let's get an abortion somewhere. You take a nice trip to Vermont for an abortion. You get a nice pancake breakfast. You do a nice kayak in a Vermont lake and get an abortion. You know how nice that is? Getting out in swamp heat. It's not a swamp, but I mean, they got lakes there that are swamp-like. And, it's seasonal. So that's the thing. If you can time your abortions in red states when they get too hot, and you can go to blue states for a seasonal abortion, it's not terrible. I know it's more convenient to get the abortion at the grocery store up the block. I get it. But if you can time your abortions for the height of the summer and you go, and you don't have to tell anyone you're going for an abort. You go, we're going on holiday. Say it the British way. It feels nicer. We're going on holiday. And then you go somewhere and you go to the Hamptons and get an abortion in the Hamptons. Get a Hamptons abortion. There's a clinic. You can get it. Don't be depressed all the time. People are always anxious and depressed because they think the government's going to take all their rights away. That's not, they're not wrong per se, but there's a workaround usually to these things that they want to do. And a lot of them, they don't get them done anyway. And then some of them they do. And there's usually a workaround. A seasonal summer abortion in the Northeast is a great way to get out of your red state heat. Nashville ain't that fun August 1st. It gets a lot more fun around Halloween, October, Get an abortion in a blue state in the summer. Go up to Boston, have some fried clams, and suck the baby out.